Hi everybody, I'm Lori McClure with Pivot Realty, and I'm here today with Helen Ruehmer from Bank of England. I'm super excited because not only is she an amazing partner for mortgages and for my clients to get loans for all their mortgage needs, but she's also a friend. So Helen, how long have you been with Bank of England?
I've been with Bank of England mortgage for about 1.5 years now.
Okay, but you have experience in the lending world for a long time, so tell us about that.
25 years. So
That's awesome.
This is my 25th year.
Okay, so why did you become a mortgage lender?
I didn't know that this was even an occupation or a job. I worked for an insurance company and they went out of business, and a friend of mine was a mortgage broker and she said, you should do this. So
awesome.
I was with an insurance company for 15 years, thought I would retire with them. So it was a big surprise and total career change.
So I'm guessing it was a good career change since you've been doing it for 25 years.
Yes, I can't imagine doing anything else.
What would you say is probably one of the most memorable experiences you've had working as a mortgage lender?
Recently, when a daughter of a couple that I did their loan 20 years ago, when they just got married, and I just helped their daughter buy a house.
Oh, that's really neat.
So just that, it's just really great to have that lifetime relationship with people.
Yeah.
So being able to help their daughter so many years later when they had just got married and they were buying their first home.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a little more fun. What is one or maybe some odd request that you've gotten from a client?
Again, I'll say recently, but I was asked out on a date. After closing, I got an email that said, hey, are you interested?
Oh, you did such a good job.
Yeah, so that was one of the most interesting requests.
That's pretty good. What about, if you feel comfortable sharing, what's one of the most random things that you've watched on Netflix? Maybe in the last couple of years, because all of us have probably watched more Netflix than we should with the pandemic and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is Peaky Blinders? Peaky Blinders.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I love that. I think that's on Netflix.
Yeah, I think so.
The one I watched because I felt kind of obligated, and it was a train wreck, was the Tiger.
Oh yeah,
Tiger King.
Tiger King, yeah. Yeah. I watched that and was like, why am I watching this? Why am I
I know,
watching
but it's like you have to, because everybody's talking about it, and you need to be able to know what they're talking about. So
yeah, I was a little disappointed when it came to the end of that one. I was like, that was it. Okay.
That was it. All right. Yeah.
If you were going to do any other kind of job, like skills or not aside, what would it be?
I'll say two.
Okay.
I wonder if it matches what you think.
Yeah, I know.
Teacher.
Okay, no, but I could see that.
Or photographer.
Okay, I was thinking private investigator.
Oh yes. And I can use my photography skills.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I would be an excellent private investigator.
You would.
Yes, I would.
Let's talk about like the neighborhood per se, or like we're just going to include all of Northern Kentucky, maybe like the river cities, but do you have like a favorite thing to do in this area, or some favorite places that you like to go in the river cities?
Newport on the Levee,
Okay.
Obviously,
Mhm.
that certainly has changed.
I know.
Yeah, it's great. Duvu Park
Mm-hmm.
is a great area to spend time in.
Now this one too, maybe it could be related to work for people, but are there any pet peeves that you have? You can use them with clients, or if you can say outside of the client world.
Client-wise, people who want to just send screenshots for their financial documents,
Yeah.
or they just send one page of a bank statement or a snapshot of what their balance is.
Yeah.
So it's something that every loan officer has to deal with. especially now with, the society's not a paper society, and people don't realize that they actually get bank statements.
Yeah.
So I have to explain to them that, yes, you do get bank statements, and have to tell them where to find them, and then, so snapshots and only getting one page or missing pages.
Or cut off pages.
You get a snapshot of like a driver's license, and it's totally blurry, you can't read anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, did you look at that before you sent it to me? Because I can't read anything.
That's great.
So just dealing with technology and
I've had to help people before, go to their home and, there's, I already sent this. Okay, well, let's take a look at it. This is all cut off. So I know I've heard those kinds of things from people before. What do you think is like one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about getting a loan or getting a mortgage for a home?
One of the biggest is that you need 20% down. And I think a lot of people in their 20s especially think that you need 20% to put down. A friend of mine just asked her daughter, who's 24, and her daughter said, I'll never be able to buy a house because I'll never be able to come up with 20% down. And her mom is actually in the business. It's like, how do you not know that you can buy a house with less than 20% down? So that's a big misconception.
And if somebody did want to reach out to you to get the ball rolling, to get a pre-approval, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
They can certainly call me, but if it's late at night or it's, their time is different, they can always go online and apply online, and I can give them a call as soon as I have access to it.
And then when they do go online, that's just like, for people to understand, that's just like a very beginning process, right? If they go to Loans by Helen and they fill out that little application, that's just a very beginning, right?
So they fill out an application at loansbyhelen.com, and at the end it'll ask them if they consent to me seeing their financial documents, privacy questions and permission to pull their credit report. And then once those items are pushed through, then it'll give them a list of documents that'll be needed. We can talk first, and then they can go ahead and send the documents, but the documents then backs up everything that they told me and what they put on the application.
And that's different than, like, if you, not to say any particular company's name, but that's a little bit different than like if you go online and just fill out a quick form and you're able to get a letter and within a couple minutes. That's different than what you do, isn't it?
Yes, so there's a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. So a pre-qualification is just a quick, based on what you told me so far, this is what you're approved for, but they're not doing any kind of verifications or documenting what was told. So we go a little bit further to make sure there's no surprises in the process. So once they're under contract, they've found the dream home, that they're actually going to be able to close, purchase it without any headaches and stress-free. So we try to find any kind of hiccups first so that everything else is smooth.
Okay, and I can say specifically just from working with Helen that if she gives you pre-approval, then you're going to be able to, barring any changes, it's different than like if you just got like a pre-qualification that you just got really quick off. If she goes to the trouble to get your pre-approval, she's done a deeper dive and there's a greater likelihood for you to close that loan.
Correct.
Yes. And you also have your underwriter is in-house, right? Why is that important?
Well, here, I think we're in a unique area, the tri-state area. You got Ohio, Kentucky and Indiana, obviously. And people don't understand it's a 5-minute drive. Like if we got in our car right now, we'd be in Cincinnati in less than 10 minutes. So an underwriter in Texas, for example, doesn't understand that. So we actually have an underwriter in Texas, and we have 2 here in-house. And when we first hired the girl in Texas, we would submit an application for purchase of a house in Kentucky, but their place of employment was in Cincinnati or Clifton or Sharonville. So then they would write back, okay, how is that possible that they're gonna live in Kentucky but work in Ohio? And then you send them the little map, map it out that it's only a 20-minute drive. And then also in Northern Kentucky, we're unique where like every block is a different city, different school district. We have so many different tax rates, so many different cities within inside of a zip code. You know, the house might be in Ellesmere and it'll have a Florence mailing address. So there's a lot of weird things in our area with cities, municipalities, counties, school districts. And so the two in-house underwriters that we have now understand all of that.
That's awesome. Let's end on maybe just you saying what one of your greatest challenges has been in your career.
Honestly, well, for learning it to begin with, because it was just a brand new career that I didn't even know existed. So learning all the ins and outs of the mortgage business was a challenge 25 years ago, but it's constantly changing. So keeping up with all the changes that happen daily with all the agencies, so like FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, having to maintain a good knowledge of all of their products and all of their changes is a huge challenge, and especially in today's environment. It always has been, but it has changed a lot with COVID. They've added some overlays, so you just have to keep up on all of it.
It does seem like it changes a lot, so you guys have a lot to take into consideration. Especially like you said this last year. It seemed like things were changing every week.
All the time.
Really will be the last one. But what's your what are some of the things that you like to do for fun?
My new is golf.
Ooh, I love that.
I'm learning.
I'm gonna have to sneak in on one of those trips.
I'm very new. Love to read. I mentioned photography earlier. I like being outdoors, hiking, love travel.
That's awesome. Are there any like dream destinations that you haven't been to yet that you'd like to go to?
Bermuda is one, and Ireland is another.
Me too. Okay, well, that's it. I just wanted to get people a little insight into who you are and what you do.
Thank you.
And we're gonna put all of the contact information where it's easily accessible. And if you have questions for Helen that are specific to getting a loan, she is a great educator, and I think it's probably okay to say that we've even used her personally in our lives, so I wouldn't be telling you that she's a trustworthy person if we didn't trust her ourselves. She was awesome through our process. Thank you for taking this time. I know you're super busy, so I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.